Hello everyone, and welcome to video 2 in my series of how to use Portfolio123 to improve your investment results, save yourself time, and find new stock ideas quickly and easily. Also backtesting whether the ideas you have, at least historically, have worked or not. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can set up your own custom screen. Last video, we talked about how to use Portfolio123's pre-built screen. In this video, we're going to make a new screen from scratch. So in the last video, we were here at this page. We're looking at Portfolio123's pre-built screener. All we're going to do to make our own screen is just click here on this new button. Under New Screen, select Stock. You could also use an ETF or closed-end fund screen. We're going to do a stock screen, and that's going to bring up this here. It's using the easy-to-trade US universe, which is all stocks that have enough volume for you to easily trade it without moving the market. The benchmark is the S&P 500, and the as-of date should be whatever date today is. So we're just going to jump right into adding some screening rules here. To start with, what I would recommend doing is to add a wizard rule. So click on this Add Wizard Rule. So there are different categories based on different components. So you can do company basics, which includes the sectors they're in, size, exchange. There are different price and volume metrics. So like if we open up price performance, for example, we can run a screen based on price change. We can look at price change against a certain benchmark. You could also look at breakouts. So if you have a volume and price surge, you can see how that screen would perform. There are growth rates, there are valuation metrics, and that's where I'm going to stop just to make it simple. Let's go to dividend income. I know a lot of you are dividend investors. So let's say you want to look at companies that have a dividend yield that is greater than 2%. So I'm going to go to Add Wizard Rule, click that, and you'll see right away it is added to the screen. So now if I click Run Screen, it's going to show me every stock that has a dividend yield of at least 2%. So you can see there are 1,117 stocks in this easy-to-trade US universe that have a dividend yield over 2%. And you can do all kinds of things with this screen. So it's going to show you lots of different data that you can sort on. So let's see if we want to sort on market cap. So if I click on market cap, it's going to sort largest companies to smallest companies that still have that dividend yield of 2% or greater. So if you're looking for stalwart companies that have a decent dividend yield, this is a great place to find it. But you can also scroll over and see that there's other information like 4-week price change. You can see their trailing 12-month sales growth. You can see their earnings growth. You can see their price to earnings ratio. There's PEG ratio, which is something that Peter Lynch used. So let's sort on dividend yield. So you can click on dividend yield and wow, looks like there's one stock that has a 54.5% dividend yield. That is Zim Integrated Shipping. That's probably not sustainable. If you've been following my channel very long, you know that I do not believe in just blindly buying high dividend yield stocks. So let's make this screen a little better and eliminate stocks that are likely to cut their dividends. So to do that, we're going to go to Add Wizard Rule. This time we're going to go to Value, click on Dividend Income, and you can see they have a reasonable payout ratio built. So if you're not sure what payout ratio is, it actually explains it to you right here. It is dividends paid over the last 12 months divided by net income earned over the past 12 months. So if a company has a payout ratio of greater than 100, that means all of their earnings are going to the dividend. There's nothing left over to reinvest in the business. That is not a sustainable dividend. So let's say we want to have a payout ratio of no greater than 80, which is typically my upper limit. There are certain stocks that would be okay, but let's keep it under 80. And so we're going to click Add Wizard Rule. And you can see that it is added right up here, right under dividend yield. Now it's also looking for payout ratios below 80. So we're going to rerun the screen and see that the number here, 1,117, that drops basically in half to 570. So now if we scroll over and sort by highest dividend yield, well, it looks like we still have Zim Integrated Shipping Services, so maybe that dividend is sustainable. I somehow doubt it. Something you definitely want to look into. But One of my favorite metrics ever, and a piece of data that's very hard to find, is returns on capital. And Portfolio123 not only has this data, but allows you to screen it and backtest on it. So what I'm going to do is look at returns on invested capital over the last 5 years. And one thing I love to do is compare it to the industry. This is really hard to do, really hard to find this data, but they make it really easy. You just go down here to best in their sector, and you can actually sort out only the companies that have a higher return on capital than their competitors. So I'm going to look at only companies that are in the highest 50% relative to their sector, and I'm going to add that. And now I'm going to hit rerun screen, and there are only 445 stocks that meet that criteria. I'm going to go ahead and add one more. Instead of clicking through, I'm just going to search. So return on investment, and there it pops right up. So I'll do return on investment 5 years. This time I'm going to do greater than the market, which would be all stocks in the screening universe regardless of sector. And again, I'm going to say I want them in the highest 50%. Click on add rule. And rerun the screen again. And now we're going to add one more criteria. I keep saying that, but it's fun to add more. Let's say we want to have companies that have increased their dividends for 10 consecutive years. When we type in dividend, we can click on increasing dividends, go to past 10 years, and then add wizard rule, hit rerun screen. And now we only have 131 stocks that have raised their dividend for 10 consecutive years. They have a better than sector and better than market return on invested capital averaged over the last 5 years. They have a payout ratio less than 80, and they have a dividend yield greater than 2. So by all accounts, this should be a relatively high ranking universe. We can sort this by highest dividend yield. And you can see the highest dividend yield stock on this list is 7.3, and that is Altria Group. We can also sort it by market cap. We could sort it by lowest forward PE ratio. You can sort it by all sorts of things. You can also change the report to be screen factors, which is one thing I like to do a lot. Click on screen factors, and it'll show you a breakdown of all those factors that you used in your screen. And if you want to export these to Excel, you can do that. All you need to do is click on this little button right here, and it will download that for you, and you can open it in Excel and do all kinds of manipulation with it if you want. So that's how easy it is to make a screen based on some fairly sophisticated factors that you would not be able to find easily elsewhere. You can do it all with just a simple click of the button. But the real power of Portfolio123 lies in the backtesting feature. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how to backtest the screen we just made. So that's how easy it is to make a screen based on some fairly sophisticated factors that you would not be able to find easily elsewhere. You can do it all with just a simple click of the button. But the real power of Portfolio123 lies in the backtesting feature. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how to backtest the screen we just made.